Okay, so we are going to make paper mache paste for our sculptures. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. The first way is to use water and flour. So you're going to get a container and you're going to add half a cup of flour to it, and then you are going to add a cup of water. You want to mix the water in slowly so that it starts to make the paste, and this way you will not get lumps. So you want to add the water to the flour and not the flour to the water. If you do it the other way, it still works. You'll just end up with a different texture that's a little bit more lumpy. So you're just going to slowly mix that in, making sure all the flour is added to the water as you're mixing. So when you're done, it should look like thin pancake batter. I like to mix it up and let it sit a little while because it'll thicken up as it sits. So maybe mix it and then let it sit like a half an hour before you start to paper mache. So that is option number one. Option number two is to use glue and water, okay? So I am going to add a fourth of a cup of water and then a fourth of a cup of glue. It could be any type of glue, school glue or Elmer's washable, whatever it is. And then you're going to go ahead and you are going to mix it up. And then you can use that for paper macheing your sculpture as well. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to use the paste. So I have my sculpture here. You can use newspaper, any type of paper. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this so I'm not wasting it. You're going to tear it into strips. You don't want the strips too thick. If the strips are too thick, they don't lay down as nicely and they kind of get all bumpy. Okay, so I've torn some strips. It doesn't matter if you're using notebook paper, copy paper, newspaper, it all works. You are then going to take and put the strip of paper in your paste, run it between your two fingers to get all of the paste off. Nothing should be dripping when you're done getting it out of the glue, okay? So then I'm going to take it and I'm going to lay it on my sculpture and I'm going to smooth it out with my hands. Make sure you have something on your table to protect it, okay? Whether it's newspaper or a plastic tablecloth that you don't care about. A garbage bag works well. You're going to keep going. Making sure that you get it to where it doesn't drip anymore. And then continue to cover your entire sculpture with the paper. Remember, if the paper is sticking up now, when it dries, it's going to be worse, okay? And it's going to be hard to fix. So please smooth it out as you go along. And cover the entire sculpture. Places like this, where it's hard plastic, you really only need to put 1 or 2 layers on there. But places where it's taped together, you're going to want to put a couple layers on, at least 2 to 3, if not 4 or 5. The more you put on, the stronger it's going to be. Okay, so there are two methods. You can use the glue and water, or you can use the flour and water. If you're using the flour and water, one last thing, don't mix it up and let it set for too long, because it will start to have a funny smell after a couple of days, because you're starting to make sourdough starter at that point, okay? So have fun, be creative. If you don't have glue or flour, go online. There are lots of different recipes that you can find, but be creative. I look forward to seeing your sculptures.